Hello, everyone. Welcome to Awaken Your Freedom Show. Please subscribe to support our growing community. Okay, so today we're doing one of our deep dives. The whole point here is really to cut through all the noise, you know,
Right.
and pull out some genuinely valuable insights from, well, what I think is a pretty provocative source.
Mm.
Our topic is this really fascinating, almost, I don't know, revolutionary look at wealth and life and happiness.
Yeah, it definitely challenges things.
It really does. We're challenging some deeply ingrained ideas about saving money, accumulation, all that stuff.
Standard playbook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the core source for this deep dive is this really powerful book by Bill Perkins. It's called Die with Zero: Maximize Life Experiences Over Accumulation.
That's a great title.
Isn't it? And what makes it so disruptive, well, the main idea, it's surprisingly simple, but wow, it hits hard.
It does.
It's basically saying, look, it's not about just saving endlessly for some future life you might not even get to live.
Yeah.
Instead, it's about strategically using your money right now to buy memories and avoid those, big regrets later on.
And it's crucial to underline that point you made,
Which one?
that this isn't about just blowing all your money, right? It's not
Right.
reckless spending.
No, not at all. Absolutely not. It's really a thoughtful, very intentional way to think about getting the most fulfillment out of your life.
That's it exactly. And this perspective, it really pushes you, the listener, to sort of reevaluate how you look at your resources. Your money, sure, but also your time.
Which is the most precious one.
Absolutely. Your time and fundamentally what your life's purpose really is. It's a nudge to shift away from that almost automatic default setting of just accumulating
Right.
towards a more conscious mindset, one that really prioritizes living fully, right here, right now.
Okay, let's unpack this then. What does it really mean to see money not just as a number in your bank account, but as a tool for life, like life energy, as Perkins puts it? He lays out these core principles, and the first one, well, it really goes against the grain.
Yeah, what Perkins argues is that money's real purpose isn't to be some kind of scoreboard, a way to tally up your success.
Right, not just about the number.
Exactly. It's meant to fuel experiences. He uses this really vivid analogy. Saving money without a real plan to spend, it's like collecting oxygen tanks, but never actually breathing the oxygen.
Wow.
Yeah, you have all this potential, this life-giving resource, just sitting there, unused.
That's a powerful image. And he shares this story that really hammers it home about a man who worked tirelessly for 40 years, saved millions meticulously, built up this substantial fortune, and then tragically passed away just before he could take that big bucket list trip he'd always dreamed about.
Yeah.
His kids got the money, sure, which is, a financial help for them, but his dreams, his planned experiences, they just died with him.
And that's the core of it.
The huge realization here, I think, is that you can almost always figure out a way to earn more money. Maybe not easy, but possible. But time.
Yeah.
Time is the one thing you can never, ever buy back. Once a moment's gone, it's just gone. Forever. And this isn't just feeling bad about lost time. It's a real call to action. It forces you to look at your feels about scarcity. What if the real scarcity isn't money?
What if it's the moments? Exactly. And this really bumps up against a belief that's so ingrained for many of us,
Which is?
that more money just automatically equals more success or even more security. This principle encourages a really fundamental shift in how you look at things.
So it's not about quantity.
Right. It's not about the sheer amount you pile up, but the quality of life and the richness of fulfillment that your money actually allows you to have. It's asking us to redefine what rich even means.
Shifting from just the numbers.
Yeah, shifting focus from a number on a statement to a life that's, well-lived, full of experiences.
Okay, that makes sense. And it leads into another really interesting idea he has. Time bucket your life.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like more than just, writing down a few things you want to do someday. What exactly are these time buckets?
Well, he suggests we should actually divide our lives up into these distinct phases or buckets. Think of them like chapters, maybe.
Like 20s, 30s, 40s?
Exactly. Your 20s, 30s, 40s, and so on, right through your later years. And the core idea is to intentionally plan and actually do experiences within the specific time bucket when they'll be the most meaningful, the most impactful.
Okay, I get that immediately. Backpacking across Southeast Asia, right? That feels totally different if you do it at 25.
Full of energy, yeah.
Compared to trying it at 65 when maybe you have physical limits or just different priorities.
Totally different experience.
So the insight is Don't just push off those, youth-driven dreams until retirement, hoping you'll still want to do them or be able to. Optimize them for the season you're actually in. What's the strategic part of this?
Well, what's really insightful here is how it makes you proactively think about your health, your energy, your vitality at different ages.
Okay.
It's not just wishful thinking, it becomes like a strategic framework. By sorting your life into these buckets, you're not just making a list, you're building a roadmap to optimize when things will give you the biggest return in joy and memory.
Because some opportunities really do have a peak window.
Undeniably. And this philosophy helps you spot them and actually grab them. Now, the challenge, of course, is life throws curveballs, right?
Sure.
How do you plan without being, like, totally rigid?
Right, that's a fair question. And Perkins isn't saying you need this inflexible schedule set in stone. It's more about having a conscious framework so you don't just automatically defer everything.
Avoiding the default later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this whole idea of consciously using your life energy leads right into his really provocative take on what actually gives you a valuable return. He calls it memory dividends.
Yeah, this is fascinating. We all know about financial dividends, right?
Yeah.
From stocks, investments. But Perkins argues that emotional dividends, the ones you get from memories, are way more valuable in the long run.
How so?
His argument is that memories actually grow in value. Every single time you recall them, they sort of compound. They pay you back emotionally for decades.
Huh. That's a totally different kind of compounding. Okay, think about this example he uses. A family spends, let's say, 10 grand on a once-in-a-lifetime safari trip.
Okay.
The money itself, gone. It's spent. But the stories they tell afterward, the bonding that happened, the pure joy of seeing those animals, those give lasting emotional returns that genuinely compound over the years. Now, compare that to the same $10,000 just sitting in a savings account, maybe earning, 5%?
Modest returns, yeah.
It's financially sensible, maybe, but what emotional returns is it generating? The really disruptive insight here is how he flips the script on return on investment.
He's basically saying the most valuable compounding isn't just in your brokerage account.
Right. It's in your personal history,
Right.
your life story.
Which raises this really important question for you, the listener. Are we, maybe as a society, sort of accidentally valuing potential financial gain, which is always uncertain?
Yeah, it's never guaranteed.
Are we valuing that over the guaranteed emotional wealth we get from experiences we actually live? It's a fundamental shift. Moving from prioritizing tangible, liquid assets
Just stock.
to recognizing the huge, often overlooked value of intangible experiences, things that make life rich. But, for a lot of people, that tangible security of financial dividends is hard to let go of. How does Perkins suggest we handle that need for safety versus this experiential focus?
Well, he doesn't just dismiss safety. He kind of redefines it. And that brings us to a principle that might be a little tough for some people to swallow, especially parents.
Okay.
It's don't oversave for your kids, invest in your life lessons to them.
Yeah, that one gets reactions.
Right, because so many parents feel this really deep urge to just save everything they possibly can for their children, believing that's the best gift. But Perkins has a very different take.
He argues that the most truly valuable inheritance you can leave behind isn't just, a pile of cash. It's the wisdom you gain from your own life, the values you actually live by, and crucially, the shared experiences you have together. It's about passing on a mindset, not just a sum of money.
Think about the real-world impact of that. A parent who actually models living fully, someone who travels, who approaches money with intention.
Who isn't just constantly worried about scarcity.
Exactly. That parent is providing a kind of true generational wealth. They're giving their kids the tools to build a rich life, a thriving existence, not just, a fat bank account. Now, this isn't about neglecting your kids, obviously.
No, absolutely not.
But what does Perkins say is the right balance between financial help and this experiential legacy?
It's absolutely not about neglect. It's really about redefining what a truly valuable legacy means. It's understanding that sometimes the greatest gift you can give is the knowledge of how to live.
How to thrive.
Yeah, how to make the most of their own time, their own resources. It puts emphasis on education, wisdom, shared moments. Seeing those as a form of inheritance that can actually be way more impactful than just cash, especially if that cash arrives later in life when they might already be financially okay.
That ties in perfectly with maybe his most controversial idea, which is the myth of dying broke is fear, not fact. Now, Perkins is super clear here. This
Hmm.
philosophy is absolutely not about reckless spending that leaves you broke and destitute.
Right. Important clarification.
It's about carefully aligning your spending with, yes, your life expectancy, but maybe even more importantly, your health expectancy.
When you can actually enjoy it.
Exactly. Making sure you have the funds when you also have the vitality, the capacity to really get the most out of them.
And he talks about using specific financial tools strategically to hit that die with zero target without living in fear. Things like annuities, for instance. Well, you could use an annuity to guarantee a steady income later in life. That then frees up other assets you have for experiences now or in earlier time buckets.
Okay.
Life insurance, too. Maybe not just for your beneficiaries after you're gone, but potentially as a way to fund specific things you plan for a later life stage yourself. And intentional gifting.
Giving money away while you're still alive.
Yeah, giving early inheritance to kids or loved ones when they're younger, say in their 20s or 30s, when that money could be genuinely life-changing for them.
Instead of waiting until you pass away and they get it when they're maybe 60 and already set.
Exactly. That's a powerful shift. Think about it. Giving that help when it can make the biggest difference, maybe for education, a house down payment, starting a business,
Or their own big trip.
or their own time bucket adventure. This whole principle really challenges that pervasive kind of fear-based story around saving that implies any spending is risky.
Mm-hmm.
How does he suggest we get past that ingrained fear? Especially when society is always telling us to save for every possible disaster. Perkins encourages us to basically reframe that fear,
Mm-hmm.
turn it into a thoughtful, proactive spend-down plan. It's about taking control, not being controlled by some vague fear of not having enough.
Mm-hmm.
If you connect this to the bigger picture, it's really about active financial planning for a life you actually live, not just for some abstract later that might never come or might come when you can't enjoy your money anymore.
So it's about being in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. Making sure your wealth serves you throughout your entire life, not just hoarding it for retirement or for your heirs.
Okay, so let's try and pull all these really disruptive ideas from Die with Zero together, because these are some genuinely impactful things for you, the listener, to think about on your own financial path.
Yeah, let's summarize.
First, and maybe the most jarring one, every dollar you die with is essentially a unit of life you didn't fully live. Just let that sink in for a second.
It's a heavy thought.
Second, Perkins argues that later might be the most expensive word in your vocabulary, because later often never comes, or it comes too late.
Right. The opportunity cost is huge.
Third, you can almost always find ways to make more money, but you absolutely, positively cannot make more time.
Time. That's the real non-renewable resource.
It is. And finally, maybe most profoundly, the ultimate goal shouldn't be just endless accumulation. It should be optimizing for fulfillment.
Perkins really challenges all of us to stop just blindly saving for some mythical someday
Yeah.
that might never arrive or might show up when our health or energy just isn't there anymore. Instead, he advocates for consciously creating a purposeful spend-down plan, one that actively maximizes your experiences, your health, your relationships, while you're actually alive and kicking and able to enjoy them.
Designing a life.
Yeah. Designing a life that truly makes the most of all your resources, making sure your wealth serves you in the fullest possible way.
So what does this all mean, big picture? I guess it's that money just by itself. It's kind of meaningless.
Until you use it.
Right. Unless it buys you freedom and joy and stories worth telling. It's a tool, a powerful one, to live your richest life, not just to pile up a fortune for the sake of it.
Well said.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one last kind of provocative thought to chew on.
Okay.
Instead of always asking yourself, how much should I save for the future? Try flipping the question. Try asking, how much life can I live with the money I have right now?
That's a powerful reframe.
It really is. Something to consider as you navigate your own path. To close, please don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or Spotify, to stay sharp and never miss a drop of knowledge that could change your financial life. Thank you.